Hi, 8th grade. This is lesson 4 of module 7, Solve Systems by Elimination. And the I can statement says, I can solve a system of linear equations by elimination and check my solution. So let's look at the build understanding. Again, I'm going to say the same thing. If you haven't done the Spark Your Learning, pause here and go back and do that on your own. Try it. It's just a great warm up and gets you into this lesson. So here's the build understanding. You previously learned how to solve a system of equations by replacing a variable through substitution with an equivalent expression. Elimination is the algebraic process of eliminating a variable in a system of equations by adding the equations together to eliminate one of the variables. So this is really cool. So let's highlight that. Elimination is the algebraic process of eliminating a variable in a system of equations by adding the equations together to eliminate one of the variables. And they're going to have you solve a system, and they're going to take you step by step, which is really great. So pause the video here, go through the questions, try to do it on your own first, make an attempt, look at what elimination means, go through the steps. They kind of help you along the way, and then we'll come back and work on it together. So hopefully you worked on this on your own and you have an idea of what you think the solution might be. So they tell you to solve this system of equations using elimination, and they're going to just walk you through it. It's so great. So which of the variables has coefficients that sum to 0? Or if you added those two coefficients together, you would get 0. Well, you can see here that the x has 3 and 7, and the y has 2 and negative 2. Well, you know that positive 2 plus negative 2 equals 0, so that is the y variable has those two coefficients that would add to 0. If you add the x terms together, what is the result? Well, 3x plus 7x is 10x, right? If you add the constant terms together, what is the result? Well, 24 plus 36 is 60. If you add the two equations together, then solve the resulting equation. So not if, add the two equations. So here you have 3x plus 7x equals 10x. 2y plus a negative 2y is 0y. And then 24 plus 36 is 60. So now you have, I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to say, if you look at it, now you have 10x, and this is 0. So you just have 10x equals 60. So you know you can divide both sides of the equation by 10. This cancels to 1, so x equals 6. So then it says substitute the value of x into either original equation and solve for y. So you can choose whichever of these two equations you like better. I'm just going to pick the one that has all the positive numbers. So I know x equals 6, so I can substitute that now where I see x. So 3 times 6 plus 2y equals 24. So I have 18 plus 2y equals 24. And so I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. So now I'm just left over here, that's 0. I have 2y equals 24 minus 18, which is 6. And so I know I can divide both sides by 2. And so this cancels to 1, so I'm just left with y on one side, which is what I want, equals 3. So that's what they wanted you to do there. So write the solution as an ordered pair. Well, here I have x equals 6 and y equals 3. So my ordered pair is 6, 3. Check your solution by substituting the values into both original equations. So let's write those down. We have 3x plus 2y equals 24. And then I also have 7x minus 2y. Oh, that looks like a z. Equals 36. We'll remember that it's a 2. So let's try the first one. So I have 3 times x, which is 6, plus 2 times y, which is 3, equals 24. And again, remember, like in the previous lessons, we want the one side to be equal to the other side. So now I have 18 plus 6 equals 24, and that is true because 18 plus 6 is 24, and 24 equals 24. So it works there. So now I can say I have 7 times 6 plus 2 times 3. Does that equal 36? So I have 42. Oh, sorry, this is supposed to be minus. Let's change that. I didn't think it was going to work. Okay, so now we have 42 minus 2 times 3. That's better. Minus 6. And does that equal 36? Yes, it does, because 42 minus 6 equals 36. 36 equals 36. So there you go. That tells you that the ordered pair works is true for both equations. And so that's where those two lines will intersect in your graph if you were to graph it. So you can do the turn and talk if you want. Look at it and talk with someone about that. And that's the build understanding for this lesson. Go ahead and finish the rest of the lesson, and then I will see you in lesson 7.5.